Science and spirituality. Science is concerned with the observable physical world, experimentation, result-oriented, logical, cause and effect. And spirituality or spirituality has to do with spirit, which is within, which is everywhere. Spirit is unseen. It is called as out of this world. Actually, it's not out of this world. So in the scientific or scientists community, they keep religion and God at bay. Neil deGrasse, a leading scientist, was asked, "Do you believe in God?" But Neil deGrasse responded that if God is good God, then why is there so much death, disease, and destruction in the world? It's a very logical question that most people, that most good people have in context that God, if you are God, then why don't you do what I would like you to do? Or God, I don't approve of your job because if I was God, then I would be doing something else. Since God is all powerful, omnipresent, omnipotent, and omniscient, which means is present everywhere, knows everything, and is all powerful. So, what will we do with the $1 billion? We all want to create solutions in the world. And God is all about service. Serve. In some contexts, it is said the purpose of life is to serve. Service to society is service to God. That God is actually your servant. That is, when God comes in human form, it serves humanity. So here is a perspective. Let's first answer the question that why does God not do a certain thing like get rid of negativity and bad people and bad actions and fix everything up? God has given this human form for us to have the experiences and freedom to choose. We have a choice to choose the thoughts, the words, and the actions, and the results then are based on the consequences of the actions. God doesn't give us result. God gives us choice, freedom of choice. It is my job to choose what I want to choose. The world that we live in right now is a result of the collective consciousness or the collective work of humanity from beginning to now. The good, the bad, the ugly. Whatever we have in the world is a result of people doing something over a period of time. And that includes bad also, ugly also. It is our job to vote correctly with our votes as well as our actions. We can choose to speak up when we need to, protect when we need to protect others, and do the right thing, whatever it is for me. It's my life, however I choose to live. So it's not God's job to live my life. It is not God's life to live my life. God has given me this beautiful life. God has given me this opportunity to live and to explore and to experience and to act and react and reform and transform uh, based on whatever is in my heart's calling, my life's calling, my God's calling, my inner voice. And there's another perspective, and that is science is all about possibilities. You have to be very open minded in science. And science is also very data driven. Whereas I would say in spirituality, we have to be open minded and experience driven. Let's not just stop at a religious level. We have to, when we read scriptures, when we read spiritual texts, we should make an effort to understand the real meaning behind it, or look at the possible meanings behind it, look at the possibilities. And let's turn the same argument around. If God is good God, if good Lord is good, then all possibilities are possible with me. That is the foundation of manifestation. Ask and it is given. Ask and it is done. When we do something with meaning and feeling, with full heart, with dedication and devotion, it is bound to happen. I may go through struggle, I may go through learning the lesson that I need to learn, I may go through growth, I may go through my own transformation, I may go through development, I may go through gaining strength, knowledge, wisdom. But with good God on my side, all things are possible. If it is in my heart, if it is meant to be, then all things are possible. Let's turn that faith-based instead of doubt-based, instead of limiting-based. Let's not limit the definition of God that if, first of all, there's a doubt, if God is good God, and if God exists, then God must act according to my definition. It's not the case. God doesn't have to depend, God doesn't have to, I cannot control God, right? Story time. But a couple decades ago, I had this realization that, oh my God, I also want to listen to the inner voice or God's voice the way Phyllis Crystal did. I also wanted to listen to the voice of High C the way Phyllis Crystal did. So I asked Phyllis, I said, Phyllis, I would like to listen to the voice of High C the way you do. She said, okay. And I was like, hoping that she would say something, give me a mantra, give me a formula, give me the secret. She was just listening and saying, sure, that sounds good, type thing. And I sort of, few days after, I said, Phyllis, I really want to listen to the voice of the High C the way you listen to the voice of High C. She said, yeah, sure. And then I nudged her again. I said, can you check with High C that I also want to listen to the voice of High C or higher consciousness inside me the way you do? Can you teach me? Can you show me how? And as characteristic of Phyllis at certain times, she pounced on me. She said, who are you to control the High C? Why does High C have to talk with you the way you think High C should talk to you? High C can communicate with you whichever way it chooses to, or when it chooses to. It was like she was pinning me down. I was like nailing against the wall. I was like, okay, sure, I'm fine. Thank you. Sorry. Are we done now? High C can communicate with you whichever way it chooses to do. And High C communicates with each one of us in a very unique way. And the way High C communicates with us is very beautiful, very sweet, very subtle, very obvious. We just have to listen, trust, and follow. It can talk to us in any number of ways. When you trust that inner voice and follow it, that is truly, I love my High C.